Hey everyone, it's time for the Set 2 Shadowverse Evolve set review. I'm shaking the camera already. I'm excited, you know. So this is going to be hopefully in-depth video of all the cards. I might split it up into two. We're clicking record and we're going with it. I don't know how long it's going to be. You know, we might split it up. If you're here, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for dropping by. We're going to go through all the cards, and I'm going to talk from a fairly competitive standpoint, I would say. So there are going to be some cards that are fun to use that I might, not think are very good. But I think right now the game is in a state where, I think you're going to be able to throw in some cards you like, or if you like this card, you can build around it, whatever. But I'm going to throw on some music. We're going to go through it. I do want to say, of course, preface, this is all, I feel like a money, person. This is all my opinion. If you, I am not the gospel. The stuff that I'm saying is not, completely 100% the facts. But I have played Shadowverse Digital for a very, very long time. I would say that I have a pretty good understanding of the game, I think. And yeah, so let's get right into it. I'm going to throw the music on, and we're going to get going. A little Blaze Blue, pretty good music. All right, here we go. So the way I'm going to do this is we're going to do neutrals, and then we're going to go from the most impactful classes, in my opinion, to the least impactful, because I think a lot of classes are I'm going to have to reference, here's why I think this card is bad, because I think this card's going to be good in the other classes. So hopefully that'll make sense, and let's get on with it. Let me actually just turn this down a little, because I don't want this to record for like 5 hours, and then it's actually super loud. But anyway, it is more for me, the music. Anyway, all right, here we go. Archangel Reyna. Also, if you're coming on here to ShadowCard.io and you want to look at some cards, please click on the cards. There are some cards, and we'll get to a sword card later, there are some cards that if you don't click on the card, you're going to think it's the greatest card in the history of the game, and then you'll realize, oh, this is not very good, is it? So, remember that. Okay, here we go. Archangel Reyna, gold. She's a 4-mana 4/5 ward with Evolve for 1, and then her Evolve effect is going to recover an amount of play points equal to the number of your face-up Evolve followers in your Evolve deck. Turn them face down. I'm not a fan of this card at all. I think the game is going to get way faster than people might realize, which we'll talk about soon. I think this is too slow of a card. It's a 4-mana 4/5 ward. That's not bad stats, honestly, to be honest. But the Evolve effect, it's too greedy of an effect right now. Because you have to, for example, let's say you're playing, I don't know, what's an Evolve thing you want, Nightmare, and, no, I don't know, like, Sword, we'll just do Sword. The Sword has a lot of early game Evolve followers, so you go, like, Maid Leader Evo, early in the game. Then you play Reyna, you have to evolve her, and then she's what, a 4-mana, 5/6 ward? That's okay. But then for like the effect to really be that good, you have to find the next Maid Leader. And I don't think that's worth putting in your normal deck, and I don't think it's worth putting in your Evolve deck. I think 4 is pretty expensive in this game. That's what I think about Reyna. Definitely in like a super greedy matchup, like if you think you're going to be facing all Control Havens or something, and the game's just going to go forever, then I could see this card, maybe, But you have to, like, what does it have to get down to? It probably has to get down to, like, 3 mana after Evolve. So how many, that's like 2 or 3, that's like 3 Evolves, I think. Yeah. I guess 2 Evolves, and then, I don't know, 3 mana 5/6 ward, and that's all it does, basically, because you have to find the other cards. I don't know. I'm not on this card. I don't think this card's very good. Alright. Love the art, though. I'm going to be saying that a lot, because Rage Bahamut is an amazing art. Okay. Bahamut, the name of the expansion. Reign of Bahamut. 9 mana, 9/9. Fanfare. He can evolve for 0, which we'll talk about in a second. And then he has just a static effect, just forever. If there are 2 or more followers in, that's weird translate. If there are 2 or more enemy followers, I don't know why it says that. This card cannot attack an enemy leader. So that's kind of similar to digital. And then its fanfares destroy all of the followers. It can evolve for 0, and it becomes an 11/11, and it destroys all amulets and still has the static effect. I think this card is pretty good. The problem is, I think the only place you would play it is in Dragon. Maybe like Haven if you think there's going to be a lot of mirror matches. Even then, though, I don't think so. The problem is, I think the good Dragon build is going to be the discard stuff, and blowing your own amulets up is not very good because it hits everything. That's the other thing. He hits everything on Evolve and Fanfare. So I don't think this card has a place yet. I think Dragon is the only class that can play this because it's just a 9 mana that doesn't do anything until later game. And also just Dragon has better stuff anyway, as we'll see. I think Dragoon is better than this card, and I think Fafnir is, people are playing it already. 9 mana is just really expensive. But definitely a tech option, I would say. I think definitely a option for if you're running into a lot of Haven mirror matches or something. I don't think this is going to be good against Sword either. Some people might say, oh, it blows up the Leonidas Amulet, which we'll talk about soon. It's 9 mana. I don't know. You have to be at 9 mana. Sword gets it out on turn 6 or 7, so I don't think so. Love, classic card. Call of Cocytus. This card is not very good. Choose an enemy follower, 6 mana, quick. Destroy it, search your deck for a neutral follower and add it to your hand. Not good. Dance of Death. Some of these cards I'm just going to go through fast because they're just not good. 4 mana, deal 5. Deal 2 to the enemy leader. Not a quick, not playable. Here we go. Dark Angel Olivia. I think right off the bat, this is the best neutral card in the set. 5 mana, 5/5. Fanfare. Choose up to 2 of the following. You have to choose. You can't choose 2 of the same thing. It has to be 2 different ones. Gain an evolution point. That's number 1. Number 2, heal for 3. Number 3, draw a card. Number 4, each enemy player discards a card from their hand. I've been so up and down on this card. I don't know what to think about this card now. So I think that I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. I think that the only deck that's going to want to play this is Sword. That's competitive, right? Like, this is a neutral card you can splash into anything. It has really powerful effects that your own class might not have access to, like evolution points, discarding. But, like, in Nightmare, I just don't think, the Control Nightmare or whatever is really going to be that good. And also, we'll even play this card anyway. But I think Sword has the best potential to play this card. The reason that I'm down on it now is because I personally think the meta is going to get extremely fast. And I don't think a 5 mana, basically do nothing, is going to be playable. Also, Dragon can play this card. I think just as good in Dragon, I should say. I'm going to talk about Sword first, though. So, obviously, the immediate application is in a Sword mirror match, being able to get your Leonidas Amulet. I should have done Sword first so I could talk, but you'll see what Leonidas does. But being able to get your Leonidas Amulet out going first on 6 is extremely strong. That is very strong. But I just don't think the way the meta is going to play out is you're going to be so far ahead enough to be able to play a 5 mana 5/5 do nothing, basically. I also don't think discarding a card is that impactful. We've seen I thought pre-release and in my testing before it came out in English, Crazy Execution was going to be amazing. It doesn't even end up being amazing because a lot of these decks just have so much value in their hand that if you rip something out, it doesn't even matter, you know? So I think if you're playing Sword and you don't think you're going to be facing any other super fast decks, like Aggro Nightmare, Aggro Blood, or Abyss, whatever. Sorry if I mess up the names of the classes, but digital brained. I don't know. This is a very flexible card. I just think 5 is really expensive in this game. I just think 5 mana do nothing is not that good. I also don't like that the opponent can choose what to discard. If you could choose what to discard, you get the, knowing the hand value, and also you can choose something to discard, but I just think they're just going to throw their worst card away. I don't think it's that good. I think this is still one of the better cards in the set, though. I'm just down on it for Sword, and I think Sword and Dragon are the only cards that can play this. And I think Dragon, this is just going to fit in because Dragon cheats, Because this is going to be a 3-mana, turn 3 or 4 play, But yeah, that's what I have to say about Dark Angel. Olivia, Demonic Simulacrum. So 3 mana, 6/5, deal 3 to your leader, discard a card from your hand at random. 3 mana, 6/5? I didn't read this card before. 3 mana, 6/5? Dies to Serpent Wrath? So what's the nightmare? So you go like Goblin, one of the 3/2s, drop this on 3, it's a 6/5, you hit yourself for 3, you discard something. At random, that kind of feels bad. Sorry, I'm just thinking, I didn't even read this card. I actually don't think this card's that bad. I think going minus in an aggro deck, but it's a 6/5. They have to have Serpent's Wrath. What else even answers this? So Serpent's Wrath, and then, Dragon's gonna answer it. That's fine, whatever. And then, Sword. How does Sword answer this? They Floral Evo. If you go first and you play this, what do they do? Can't Unbridled, because they don't have a board built yet. Okay. I like this card. Actually. I like this card. I don't know. I think this card actually might be pretty good. Unless I'm just being completely stupid. I think it's only good in Aggro Nightmare, and I think they have better cards to play. But this is really interesting. Okay. Gourmet Kaiza. I love this man. He's awful in this game, though. Choose an enemy follower with cost 2 or less destroyed. Add 3 to its leader's health. This card's just not good. Future sets have a better card that kind of does this similarly. This is just too much of a downside. If you're playing heavy control, maybe. But you don't care about killing a 2-cost. I don't know. I don't think this card's good. Hamza, the goat. He's actually a duck. Bad, but he's always bad. But he's funny. Reveal the top card of your deck. This gets +X/+0. X is the cost of the revealed card. 3 mana. What's the highest attack thing? Genesis Dragon. You reveal a Genesis. It's a 3 mana 10/3. Dies to Overflow. Blazing Breath. Sector. 2 mana 2/2. That's it. And then he can evolve for 3. And he gets Ward. So it's a 5 mana 4/4 Ward. Unplayable. Surefire Bullet. This card. Did I say Olivia was the best neutral card? This is the best neutral card. This card is amazing. 2 mana, deal 3 quick. If it's an evolved follower that you're targeting, it deals 4. This card is so amazing. This card sees play for the end of time, basically. This card is really, 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 really strong. Not much else to say. This card is playable in many, many, many decks. Very good. Unica. Classic character. 2-mana 2/2. Evolve for 1, so it's a... What do we call these? They're like two-drop evos, I guess? Like, because there's a lot of these, and I think these are very strong in the game right now. That they're like 2/2s, they can evolve for 1. So going second, it's like a 3/3, basically. Strike, add 2 to your leader's health. And then evolve, it's the same thing. So it just basically gains rush and +1/+1. There's no evolve effect. I think this is good in Elena, but I think there's some other cards that may or may not be better than it in Elena. I don't know. I think this card's okay. Probably this will be the only time we could ever see play, though. Alright, so now... oh, let me just do this. Okay. So now that's neutral. So let's do Sword first, because I think Sword is going to be the most impactful and probably the longest segment, because I'm planning to play it, and I think it's the best deck. And I think there's a lot of nuances and key things to it. So I'm going to scroll through these. I'm going to just talk about Leonidas first, because Leonidas is the most important card. So Leonidas, 6 mana 5/6. 6 mana 5/6. Evolve for 1. On evolve, it becomes a 6/7. You choose an enemy follower. It deals 5 damage to it and itself. So it becomes a 6/2. Then, when it dies, it spawns a amulet. Where is it? Is it really not on here for realsies? There it is. It spawns an amulet, Leonidas' Resolve, that gives all royal followers, or sword followers, +3/+3 and rush. This card is so insane. This card is so good. This is a meta warping card. This does not mean it's unbeatable, right? This does not mean it's... Is it broken? Maybe. Yeah, but it does not mean it's like... You know, it's beatable. There's a lot of stuff. But the reason I say it's meta warping is because whenever you're building a deck, you have to account for it. Unless you're like Aggro Nightmare and you just kill them before they can drop this. So that's why a lot of people are talking about playing a lot of Executes in their deck next set. Haven is going to be playing a lot of Banishes in this deck. Because Executes obviously target the Amulet, and Banishes target him before he dies. There's a lot of plays you can do with this card. Playing it as just like a 6/7 on an empty board is fine in some matchups. Obviously, most of the time you want to look for killing it on the turn so that they can't really interact with it. Obviously, if you think they have an Execute, though, you don't want to do that. You know, most of the time, you just want it to have the amulet on the field, and they have to deal with it. If they spend 4, like, so here's my thing, is so if they have a board, and you basically kill their board because you deal 5 to something and you swing in for 6, and you die, or you kill 2 things. Next turn, if they spend 4 to execute, your sword, I don't think you're worrying at all. I just don't... I don't think that's really a good enough play most of the time, which is why I think the deck is very strong and saw a lot of play and a lot of success in Japan, is because you can tech for it, but Execute is a heavy card. Execute's a good card, but it's a heavy card. It's 4 mana, and to have and Sword can definitely force you to have to play that card before Leo comes down. Sword's early game is so insane right now, and will be next set, and set 2, the one we're talking about. And it has a lot of bombs, a lot of drops, a lot of really strong, powerful cards that they are going to try to bait and force you to use Execute, or you're going to lose. A lot of games don't even come down to Leonidas. They come down to, hey, I saw 2 Floral Fencers, shake my hand, you know. And that's how Sword is right now, if you build it, you know, is you see 2 Floral Fencers, probably that's going to be GG. And then, but now if they somehow survive that, you're going to have an insane late game to transition into. So, Leonidas very good. A lot of what we're going to talk about in the rest of this set is going to revolve around Leonidas Sword, how to deal with Sword, because I think it's one of the best decks, probably the best deck. So, that's Leonidas. So now, What else? We'll talk about the legends. So, Albert is a 4-mana 3/5 storm. That's it. And then he evolves for 3. And the evolve effect is he can, on strike, stand himself. But it only does it one time. What song is this? Anyway, so he stands himself one time, so that means he can attack twice, basically. And then, follower strike, or sorry, on evolve, he takes no clash damage this turn. I don't think this card is as good as it looks. And the reason is Sword, which we'll get into. Sword has so many good cards that there's honestly not really a slot for this. And again, I think this is going to be a theme, is 4 is a very high cost, in my opinion. Turn 4, you could have already lost the game from aggro, blood. Nightmare. Abyss. And you can't really just play a 4-mana 3/5, hit them in the face, pass. That just doesn't work. So this card can get a little, bad in your hand. It's good post-Leonidas, because obviously post-Leonidas becomes a 6/8 that attacks twice, so that's 12 damage. I just think there's better cards, which we'll see. And I think this has a place in my list I'm playing 1 or 2 of. I think it definitely has a place. I'm going to test it some more, though, of course. I just don't think it's as strong as people think, because it looks strong, right? 3/5 Storm, especially if you come from digital. Storm is just amazing. But I just think in this meta, I think there are better 4-drops. I think 4 in itself is just a tough thing. And also, in most builds, you're already going to be having a really high topic. Because this is more like a 6/7... like a 6 or 7 drop, right? Because you have to evolve it for it to be really good. But yeah, that's what I have to say about Albert. I think it's good. I think it'll see play. I think it would see a lot more play if Sword didn't have such good cards. Then we get to talk about Alexander. Alexander, why is this a Sword card? I don't understand why this is a Sword card. I'm happy, but this is not a... This is a control card. This is like a Haven card. 6 mana, 5/9... Rush direct attack. During your turn, whenever this... Whoa, what did I just do? Whenever this card deals clash damage, stand it. Whenever. So this clears a lot of boards in the game. And then if it doesn't die, better have a spell, better remove it. Why is this a 5/9? I don't understand why this is a 5/9. This card is so cracked. This card is so insane. It's also really toxic in the mirror. This is so annoying in the mirror. Whoever gets this first, going for, whatever. Obviously, this card's good. This card's really good. I don't really know what else to say. This card sees play for a very long time. Just board clear. It's just a 6-mana board clear, and if it survives, it's a 5 whatever standing. Can't swing into it. Really strong, man. Really strong. Let's talk about another really strong card. I'm prefacing this with Amelia's like my favorite character in... Her and Leisha are like my favorite characters in Psy games. Just Rage Bahamut, everything. So, I'm not going to be biased, but I think this card is extremely strong. Fanfare... 4-mana 3/3, Fanfare. Choose one of the following. Choose a follower in your hand with cost 3 or less and play it. So if you play this, it's basically a 1-mana 3/3, right? Because you get a 3-drop from your hand, and you're spending 4 for it. So it's a 1-mana 3/3, and then whatever 3-drop. So that's your Novice Troopers, your whatever. That's pretty good. I want to talk about this section of the effect first. I think that's pretty good. I think it'll be very niche, though. I don't think a 1-mana 3/3 is like that strong coming down on 4, because 4 going into 5 or whatever, especially against Dragon, is where a lot of the board clears start coming. Conflagration, all the other stuff, But pretty good. And then the second effect is where I think this card is so insane. The second effect is choose an enemy follower. So you have to choose one of these, right? You don't get both of these. If you got both of these, this is the best card in the game. Choose an enemy follower, deal 4 damage to it. Right now, we're in a section of the game where removal is very strong. Back in the day, in Digital, there was a card called Orthrus Junior Hellhound. It was the 4-mana 4/3 version of Orthrus. It was 4-mana 4/3 Necromancy 3. That doesn't matter. That's an effect that doesn't do anything, or does exist in physical. Deal 4 damage. I thought that card was one of the best cards in the entire game because removal was so good. And this is basically the same thing for paper. I think this card's amazing. I think you should be playing a lot of these cards. I think you should be playing 3 of these. There's some Japanese builds that don't play this card at all. I don't know. I think this card's very good. Next card, Advent Blader. This is going to be an interesting one. So Advent Blader is a 4-mana 4/4. Evolve for 1. And then it searches for up to 2 officer followers from your deck to your hand. So the way the deck is constructed, there's not many officer followers. The 2 key ones are Quick Blader and Novice Trooper. So here's the theory, or here's like what you want to theoretically be doing. So you drop Leonidas on 6 or 7. Next turn, you want to just drop all your Storm guys and hit them in the face. That's typically what you want to do. Novice Trooper becomes a 6/6. Quick Blade becomes a 4/4. And this card draws you 2 Novice Troopers or Quick Bladers. That's pretty good. On 7, any turn after Leonidas Amulet comes down, but this basically becomes a 5-mana, 8/8, search for 2 Quick Bladers, and those Quick Bladers become 4/4s. That's pretty good. The problem is, I think, very similar to Albert, is this card is a late game disguise, right? You can't really play this card on 4 or 5. Second, you can't play this card really at all because your evil points are so tight. And going first, turn 5, you have better plays you want to be doing. I think going first, this card's okay, though. But again, it's like you probably would rather just play Olivia. I think Olivia is more impactful because it's still kind of a 5/5 do nothing. It has Rush, I guess. I think this card can have a place in the deck. I think Sword has a lot of different builds. But Advent Blader could see play. Definitely not like at a 3 of. 2, 1, 0, I think is what you're going to see it in. But yeah. Okay, next card, Flame Soldier. This card is just complete fucking garbage. I thought this was a 2-drop. This card's awful. Non-playable. Here we go. Okay, now this is the ShadowCard.io mix-up. This is the unblockable. Gunner Maid Saria on this screen says, Fanfare, search your deck for a follower and add it to your hand. I mean, that's like an insane card. What it actually says is, search your deck for a princess follower, add it to your hand. This card cannot be used right now. It's a 2-mana 1/3, which is really bad stats. And it only searches Odahime, Aurelia, and then one more card that's like, Pompous Princess. If you're playing a super heavy 1-drop deck, I think you can play like 18 1-drops. You can go like 1-drop, turn 2 Saria, turn 3 Pompous Princess, see a 1-drop. The problem with that is your turn, like, why would you play this over like Latham? Because it's 3/3. Like, you're losing two attack sets, Like, you're making up for it with the Pompous Princess if you hit it, but it's just not good. This is just not good. Not good right now. I think there's some builds later on. Like, once Juliet comes out, Romeo and Juliet, I think there's some fun builds you can do with Saria. But right now, I don't think it's playable. Geno, this card just is awful. 3-mana 3/3, evolves for 1, peeps the top 4. You can add 11 card from that to your hand. The only other 11 card is Albert right now, I believe. And Urias, but he's awful. And it has direct attack. This card sucks. Samurai, this card's awful. 2-mana 3/2. There's better 2-drops you can be playing. Activate for 3 play points against Storm and Bane, so it's a 5-mana 3/2 Storm Bane. This card's not playable. Swift Infiltrator. This card is worse. Fervent Soldier. Oh, now we get to a card I actually want to talk about. So, White Paladin. I think this is a very good example of 3 drops. So we talked about how 4 drops, in my opinion, are really expensive and not, like, you can't just throw a bunch of 4 drops in and you know, go. 3 drops, I think, are the key middle ground of this game, where there's so many impactful good 3 drops, but they still are a little late, you know. This card is so good. If there weren't so many good 3 drops, I think this card would see a lot of play. This is, in my opinion, this is the Otohime replacement. If you want to play Otohime, I would 1,000,000% play this card instead, because it doesn't take up sorry, it doesn't take up an Evo slot in your deck, and it's an early ward against Aggro Nightmare. And it can come out from Amelia as well, which is pretty good. I love this card. I think this card's very good. I just don't think it can be played. I just think it's unplayable right now because Sword has so many better 3-drops, and you can't really play a deck with 15 3-drops. If this was like a 2-drop, if this was like better Vet Lance or something, oh man, that'd be awesome. I think you can fit this in, and if your meta, if your locals is just like balling out with Aggro Nightmare, I think you put this card in. I think you could, I don't know what you would sub out, like, I don't know what that would look like, but definitely consideration. This card's strong. This card's strong. Whole Souled Swing, this card sucks. Putting Knights in the EX area is all, I don't, like, it's just not good, you know? It's just not good. 2 mana, deal 3 quick, put a Knight in the EX area. Not playable. Just not good. Just played Unbridled Fury. And then Urius, man, they did this man dirty. This is one of my favorite arts. I love this art. Quick, so it's 2 mana 0/4, Wind God? 2 mana 0/4, quick activate, act this card, choose enemy follower, deal 1 damage to it. Control Sword. Alright, so that's Sword. So just overall, I think Leonidas is probably the most impactful card in this whole set, because so many decks have to play around it. You can't just go into a matchup with Sword unless you are aggro Nightmare and not have something for Leonidas, or your Sword itself in your mirror matching or whatever. And I think it's going to be not the easiest deck to play. I don't think it's just going to be autopilot. You can't just slam Leo onto a board a lot. You have to think about it, you know. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's the best deck in the format, though. Probably. Or most likely, I mean. All right. So, that's Royal. That's, I mean, Sword. Why did they change the name? Just name it Royal. Anyway. So next, the next impactful set, I think, is Nightmare. So we'll go through some of these. I think it's mostly... Oh, I got some water. So let me drink some water. Hold on. Alrighty. Because I think... I think Aggro Nightmare is going to be extremely strong. It's going to be the gatekeeper, like... it's going to check the meta, I think. I think Aggro Nightmare is the reason why I'm down on a lot of these really late-game strategies that people are talking about. But, again, you know, prefacing all of this stuff with... Who knows, right? You know, and your meta could be completely fucking different. Your meta could be Forest is the greatest deck in the entire game. Everyone's on Forest, you know, whatever. But, just my opinion from experience from the previous game and my experience in this game so far. Anyway, Azazel. Azazel is a pretty good. I just don't think he has a place right now. So, 7 mana 6/6. When you play this Necrocharge 10, subtract 3 from its cost. So if you're Necrocharge 10, it's a 4 mana 6/6. And then on Fanfare, it discards a random card from the enemy hand. Hold on 1 second. Alright, just had to cough a little bit. It discards an enemy, random card from the opponent's hand. It has Bane. This card's really strong just on paper there, you know. 7 mana, again, is really late. You're competing with Leonidas, right? This doesn't do anything against Leonidas. And on Evolve, it changes the health of the enemy leader to 10. So, there's an OTK. I just feel like it's so, like, I don't think a lot of these combos that take 2 to 3 cards to pull off in perfect scenarios is gonna work for a lot of these decks. I think this card's pretty good. I think it's cool. I think when Dark Alice comes in, it's gonna be a fun deck. Right now, I don't like, because I know if you get to turn 10 with an Evo point, you can play this, Evo, then Death's Breath for an Alucard, and then that's an OTK. I don't think through Aegis though, right? Does it go through Aegis? With the ward, yeah. Anyway, I just right now I don't think it's actually gonna be good. But it's definitely gonna be relevant. Like people at your locals are gonna play. You know, like people are gonna try it because it's a fun deck. Or it's a fun card. Next card is Bone Chimera. I think this card is extremely strong in a control deck. Like in that Azazel deck, I think this card is extremely strong. Necrocharge 7 gains Rush and Bane. That's not a fanfare. That is forever. That is just a static effect or whatever. That's just an effect that's always on this card. And then on fanfare, you mill 3 from the top of your deck. So this gets you to that 10 Necrocharge 10 for your other cards you're playing. And also, you just have to have 4 cards in the graveyard, and this becomes a 3-mana 1/1 Rush Bane. I think that's pretty good. I think it fuels your game plan, and it can remove, and, you know, you're probably playing a control deck anyway. I think this card's good in that, but again, I don't think it's a good, sort of, you know, I don't think it's a good deck. Demonic Hedonist. 2-mana 2/2. So another what do we call these? These Evo fighters? I don't know. These 2-mana 2/2s that evolve for 1. We're gonna be seeing a lot of these. I think Blood has better ones than this one, but at the start of your end phase, if Crimson is active for you, draw a card and discard a card. I just don't think like, why is this not just draw a card? I don't know why you have to discard a card. And then Strike deals 1 to all leaders. At the start of your end phase, if Crimson is active for you, draw a card and discard a card. So this is an interesting card. We're going to be seeing, after I go through all the cards, I actually want to compare these 2-mana 2/2s that evolve for 1. Because there's a lot of cards right now that Blood has, and that are going to get in this set, that have sort of this evolve effect that deals, in some form or some fashion, 1 damage. I think this is the worst one. I think a cycle engine like this is interesting, but I think if you construct your deck well enough, Blood is just going to be so consistent, and all the cards you draw are going to be good, you know? So I don't think you really need a card like this. If you're going ham on, like, a bunch of activator cards, like if you're playing Dark General, you might want to play this card. What else? Like, if you're playing a lot of cards that need other cards to work, I can see this. If you're playing Alucard, I can see this card too. So, okay card. Okay card. Okay, we'll talk about Vampy, because she's next. Vampy. 2-mana 2/2. Classic card. Classic art, also. 2-mana 2/2. Fanfare. This card gets X plus X plus X. X is the number of bats on your field. Then you can activate one play point, put a bat into your graveyard, choose enemy follower, deal 3 damage to it, and 1 damage to the enemy leader. This is a tough card. This is a tough card. Because I think there are some good bat cards. I just don't know if it'll be better than just playing an aggro deck that you just play the good cards in, right? The good stuff aggro. Because there's definitely some, like, combo aggro, right? There's some combo aggro. There's, like, this. You know, like Dark General, playing Dark General and stuff. But I think this is leaning towards, like, the aggro combo build. And I just don't think... I think you have to play too many bad cards for this to pop off. I like the idea of a bat aggro build that can transition into a mid-game with this card where you can pop wards and pop other stuff. I just think the minute you start going, okay, I'm going to get to mid-game, you have to start considering Leonidas, and you have to start considering playing cards that interact with him. And Blood doesn't have any. They only have Execute, I believe. They don't have any Amulet removal yet. So, and I don't think you can play Execute in an aggro deck. So, I don't know, man. I like this card. I like this card. 2 mana, like if it becomes like a 2 mana 4/4, like that's pretty good, you know. And a lot of the bat cards give you more bats in your EX area, so you always have like stuff to play. The bats are, of course, 1/1s. I think there can be builds with this. I think there's going to be a harder deck to build than just the good stuff aggro. Is what I would say. So, unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be too good right now. Mini Soul Devil, this card is so broken. Broken. I think this card is I think this card is so stupid. 2 mana 3/2, so aggressive statted. As aggro, if you play this card down, you don't care. You're getting 3. Like, if it dies, whatever. This is just... If you can evolve with this card on the field, this is the best 2-drop in the game. And this is why I think you want to be playing so many 2-drops that can evolve with this card. Because if you go... So, like... Because I think most of the time... Or it makes your going first and second matchups more balanced and better. Because, like, going first, if you go Goblin, this, and then a 2-mana 2/2 that evolves, you're getting 2 damage, you're swinging this in, you know, unless they try to remove it, which they can, but pulling those resources, like Dragon wasting a breath on this, that's fine. It adds that consistency layer towards, obviously the best 2-drop in the deck is going to be your Ambling Wraith and your 1-mana 3/3, but if you miss it, this is a good alternative, and I really like decks like that, where if you miss your super good play, you still have a better play on top of that. This card is so amazing. This card is so insane. I think this card is really, really good. Moriana the Bejeweled. Shoutouts to her. Her gold version I played in the first in digital in the first deck that I top 8'd with in a Shadowverse tournament. That was a very fun time. So I'll always remember her very fondly. Unfortunately, I don't think this card is very good. If Crimson is active for you, add 3 to your leader's health and draw a card. I don't know. 3 mana 3. Oh, it's a 3/4. Wait a minute. It's a 3/4. Healing 3 is pretty good in drawing. What are you playing that's hitting yourself that's, like, just passive, though, you know? Like, because a lot of the times you want to save your hit yourself cards for your Dark Generals and your combo stuff, right? I don't think you play this in aggro, but I think this is an okay card. I think this is an okay card. Necro Carnival. I don't know why. Man, come on, man. Come on. Gotta drink some water. Choose one of the following. Necro Charge 10. Choose up to 2 instead. Choose a follower in your graveyard with 2 or less put into the field. That's pretty good. And then put 2 ghosts in the field. This card is not good because both those effects aren't worth 3 mana, and your 3 mana, your cards are so overstated and overvalued as aggro blood. Nightmare, Abyss. I'm sorry. You guys know what decks I'm talking about. But you're not getting to 10 with this card. I don't think this card's good. Precious Blood Fangs. Choose one of the following. Put a number of force bats into the field equal to the number of cards in enemy field. And then all your bats get +1/+1. So you go like turn 1 summon Bloodkin. Turn 2 like summon Bloodkin again, and then play a bat. You have 3. Turn 3, you go Vampy. She's a 5/5. And then you, like, swing in, you kill something. You need another 1-drop bat. I don't know, the bat stuff's coming together, you know? And, like, this is not a bad card. This is a really good card. Like, it turn 3 to 4 if you're against, Sword? They have, like, 4 things on the field, you know? It's cards, too. It's not just followers. I like this card, man. I like this card. I still don't think the bat stuff's going to be as consistent as just good stuff aggro, but I think there could be a build. I like this card a lot, and I like that it's flexible. You can, like, Rousing Step on your bats is pretty good. Rousing Step is on the bats is pretty good. Okay. That's interesting. Should we come back to Soul Dealer? No, we'll just talk about it right now. Soul Dealer is so broken, so good. This card is so good. 4 mana, 6/5. This could say deal 19 damage to you and you'd still probably play it. No, probably not. But deal 3 damage to yourself. It also has Ward for whatever reason. Just, you know, to protect your early game, you know, because your early game's so bad, right, as Aggro Nightmare. Then it can evolve for 2, not 3. For some reason, I thought this evolved for 3. This is 2. Choose an enemy follower, destroy it, add X to your leader's health. X is the chosen follower's attack. This is good in aggro. This is good in mid-range. This is good in control. This is so insane. This card is so good. In aggro, you play this down on 4. If you play this down on 4 going first, obviously you can get Serpent's Wrath, but your early game, you still have, like, you're taking resources out of their hand. In Dragon. I feel like Dragon's gonna have to play Dragon Wings, in my opinion. But that's a different story. You play this out. This is a 6/5. If it lives, and it's so hard to deal with Sword, the only way to deal with this is like Aurelia, swing into it. If it gets buffed, if they have 3 things on the field, and Unbridled Fury with a full board. That's why a lot of decks are playing Unbridled Fury. I like that tech now. This card's really good, man. This card's really good. And if it lives, you can't ward up because it just 2 mana kills your ward, swings for 7, and then you still have 3 mana to work with. Welcome the new Overlord. This is so good. This is so good. Yeah, not much else to say. It's a pretty simple card, honestly, you know, but I do want to check one thing. Does it get ward? Yeah, it does have ward on Evo, so it's a 7/6 ward. Pretty good. Just 5 is so much to deal with, you know. Alright, Trick Doulahan. This card's good. 2 mana, 3/2. Aggressively statted. Put a ghost into your EX area. Love that. Necro Charge 10, put 3 instead. That effect's not going to matter, but putting a 1 mana 1/1 Storm on an already aggressive statted card, this card's going to be played. This card is very good in the, like, just good stuff aggro, right? You want to play cards that are fairly equal to every other of your best plays, I feel like, in this deck, right? So, like, best play is always going to be Ambling Wraith and Skeleton Fighter, but this and the Soul, what's her name? Mini Soul Devil, are both cards that sort of balance out that, like, hey, if I miss that, I'm still okay. I'm still going to have an okay turn. Not an evolved card, though. Kawi. I think Kawi is pretty good. I think people might be overestimating how much you can play around this card. I think there are decks that will be able to play around this card. It's a 5-mana 5/5 ward. Last word, choose an enemy follower, destroy it. Add X to your leader's health, X to the chosen follower's attack. So, obviously, you can play around this card by just killing it before it you play out another thing. I don't know. I think 5 is too expensive. I think it still doesn't do anything immediately, and having 5 health is too bad. I think 5 health is just too low right now, I think, in my opinion. Vampiric Fortress. Peep the top 3. It's an amulet. It's a 1-drop amulet. You may reveal a vampire card from among them and add it to your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Activate 1 play point, act this card, and put it in the graveyard. Summon a bat. So, 2 mana, draw a card. 2 mana, 1/1, draw a card. How many vampires do we have? Are some of the spells considered vampires? Let me see. Oh, they are, okay. So you can play a lot, actually. These altards don't count, because you can't play multiple of them, you know. Top 3 is bad, though. Top 3 check is bad. I wish that said 5. Would you even play this in the bat build? Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. Vite's a good card. 2 mana 2/2. Another 2 mana 2/2 evolve for 1. Strike, put a force bat into the field. And then on evolve, it puts a bat into your EX area. This card is really good. If you swing in with it, it's 4/4 worth of stats for the 3/3 or 2 in an evolve point. And the bat sticking is really good. I think this is, in my opinion, better than Mummy, because I think most of the time sticking like 1/1 cards on the board are better than the ghost just sitting there, you know? It's also like a constant thing you're going to keep getting 1/1s. I think there's going to be different builds of aggro good stuff where, like, this is slightly worse theoretically with, like, Phantom Howl, right? Because your board's going to be more full. But yeah, I don't know. Good card. I think this is a good card. I think, is that the last card? Yeah, that's the last card. So, like, how many 2-drop, this, and you have Vite, and then you have, like, Lilith and Mummy. What's the tier list? Lilith is, like, 1, Vite is 2, Mummy's 3, and this is 4, probably. And then and then each of those has, like, positive and negatives. So, yeah. Overall, Nightmare, I think, is going to be extremely strong. I think Aggro Nightmare is going to be so good. I think Aggro Nightmare is going to be very strong. Very, very strong. I don't think the Control Nightmare is going to work out, but I could see in some locals, some scenes, it could. It's just, to me, it's too conditional, and I think with this and Sword, with Aggro, good stuff, / Bat, good stuff, whatever the hell, and Sword, I don't think people are seeing turn 10, to be honest. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to do a cough drop real quick, because for some reason my voice is, I don't know, whatever. And then we'll be back with the other classes, so. All right, we got the cough drop going. And immediately I start, whatever. Time for Dragon. So Dragon, I think, is in a really good position. Obviously, it's the best deck in set 1. I think it's going to be really frustrating to play against because it's going to have a very consistent draw engine now with the discard stuff. And I think if you build it correctly, it's going to be extremely consistent. I think it's going to be extremely consistent. So let's talk about it. 3-drop. Amulet. 3 mana. Start of your end phase. If you discard a card from your hand this turn, choose an enemy follower. Sorry if you see me, like, messing with the cop drop. Choose an enemy leader or enemy follower. Deal 2 damage to it. Fanfare, discard a card from your hand. Add 1 to your leader's health. So this is a on play, 3 mana, deal 2, heal 1. And every turn after, every time you discard a card, which is going to be a lot, you get this 2 damage at the end of the turn. I think this card is so insane. I think this card is very strong. I think this card is very strong. It adds a lot of damage. It adds a lot of damage. If you see 2 of these, you might be winning the game. You know, very strong card. Draconic Armor. I don't even want to talk about some of these cards. Put a Draconic Weapon on the field. Do I have to pull a Draconic Weapon? Activate, act this card. Act this card and put it in the graveyard. Choose one of your Dragon Falls against +1 or +0/+1 and the Armed trait. If Overflow is active for you, put 2 instead. Oh, that's it. That's all it does. Draconic Fervor. I think people might be baited by this card. If you say this card is good, but Isla is bad, you're a silly goose. I don't think this card is good at all. I don't know why this only draws a card. This should draw 2. This is 5 mana, do nothing. This is 5 mana, go to 7. There's not enough good 7 drops right now. If Fountaineer was like 7, I could see this. If there was like some insano 7 drop, I could see this, but this is not good. This is not good. Just play Olivia. I'd play Olivia over this. Because at least it's a body, you know? This is not better. Ayla's good, guys. Ayla's good, you know? Come on now. Come on now. Dragon Song Flute. This has a lot of stuff. This has a lot of stuff. 1 mana. When you discard this card from your hand, put a Hellflame Dragon into your EX area. Hellflame is a 2 mana 4/3 with Rush. So that's like when you discard this card from your hand, you get a 2 mana 4/3 Rush in your EX area. Then, if you play it as a Fanfare, 3 play points, put a Hellflame Dragon into the field. So, this is basically 4 mana, play a 4/3 Rush, put this on the field, and you draw a card. Then you could activate this card, which you act this and discard a card from your hand, and you put a Hellflame Dragon into your EX area. So this is a really good engine to get, like, 4/3s that can clear. Also feeding your 3-drop Amulet that can deal damage to the face or whatever. Clearing stuff or the face. And then also you can, on play, draw a card. And also this is just a card that you can throw away and get a 2 mana 4/3 in your EX area. Obviously, this is an extremely strong card. The 3/4 rush, 4/3 rush is really good. Dragon Tamer. So, this is a card that we need to see the English translation of. Because, like, I feel like this is really good. Is there a dragon? Yeah, so there is a dragon trait. And I believe in English it's called Wormkin or something. So if this card is Wormkin, choose a Wormkin follower in your graveyard at your hand. I think this card's bad. If this is a dragon class, if this is choose a dragon card like from the class from your graveyard to your hand, this card is insane. Because you just get 5 Fortes. Again, I'm leaning towards it being Wormkin because there's a distinct lack of this card in JP lists. But anyway, let's talk about it. 2-mana 2/2 fanfare, draw a card, discard a card. Amazing. That's really good. Fuels your amulet. 1 mana evolve, so you know how much I love my 2 mana 2/2s evolve for 1. Evolve, discard a card from your hand, put a dragon follower, choose a dragon follower in your hand, add it into your hand. If you can get Forte from this, this is one of the best cards in the entire game. If you can't, what other dragons would you play in this deck? He's a dragon? What? I mean, none of this shit. Sorry, I'm just looking. Blazing Breath? Wait, see, what's going on? Hold on. Blazing Breath is a dragon? That might just be good enough. That might be good enough. And can flag? Show me so. Yeah, we're playing this card. We're playing this card. We can all our removal back. I think we're playing this card, right? Even if it says Wormkin or whatever. Do I have? No, that's my sword deck. I was looking like, do I have the? I think we're playing this card. I think we're playing this card. Even if it says Wormkin. 3 mana 3/3 with the evolve cost. Discard draw. So you activate your 3 mana amulet. Evolve, discard, get a Blazing Breath or a Serpent's Wrath, or you can flag back. Right? Am I crazy? And then obviously if it's any dragon card in the whole game, you're getting Forte back. Okay, I think this is a W. I think this is a card. Oh, follower, what the hell? Should I cut this part? No, we leave it in. See, this is the you guys, reading comprehension is important. Okay? Reading comprehension is important. Golly, bro. That was like, what, 2 minutes? Sorry, guys. Alright. This is kind of a mess, isn't it? Kaiba. Something to talk about Kaiba. The reason I misread that is because, like, the way I have my computer up right now is, like, my recording software is, like, over the text. So, like half the text. So I didn't see the follow part. So my bad, guys. 8 mana 6/6. Sorry, 8 mana 6/6. Deal damage equal to your hand. Then you trash your hand. And then on evolve, it draws 3 cards. On evolve, it draws 3 cards. I think this is gonna be your finisher. I think this is really good. The way I like to build decks is, in this game, is looking to the future, seeing what's good and successful, and seeing how we can work it in earlier, you know? And I think this is actually a pretty good replacement to Ogre Cap. It's obviously not Ogre, but I think it's a pretty good replacement. And I like this card a lot as like a 1 to 2 of, as like a finisher. Because let's say you ditch 6, and then you have like at least an amulet on the field. You deal 8 damage to face, and then you draw 3 cards, and it's a 7/7. Like, that's a pretty good finisher, you know. Or at least like getting them really close to death. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Mooshra, there's a lot of these cards I like don't want to talk about. Whenever one of your followers evolves, this gets +2/+0. Neptune. Man, Neptune is sad in this game. Ward, as long as this card's in your field, all your Mega Lorcas have Rush. Fanfare, put a Mega Lorca. Mega Lorca is a 2/2. Then it evolves for 2, and you summon another Mega Lorca. And all the Mega Lorcas gain Storm. So this is 7 mana 5/5 Ward. Summon 2 2/2 Storms. Not the worst thing in the world. Nice turn 7. No Poseidon Masamune though. Polyphonic Roar. When I read this card, holy crap. I was like, we're missing something, but no. I'm pretty sure this is like how it works. Or this is the dragon. You know, this is like the 4-mana 5/5 dragon. This is not any dragon card. This is dragon. Not good. Not good. Siegfried. Execute. So it's a 4-mana 3/3. Do 2 damage to something. Evolve this card for 1. On evolve, kill something with 3 or less health. I think this is okay. I think this card's okay. I don't think it will be played. A classic art. Amazing art. But I don't think this is a sleep play. I don't think it's a sleep play. Transmogrified Worm. 4-mana 5/5. Choose a card in any EX area. Transform it into dragon. Dragon deck? 4-mana 2/5. Attack delta damage and class damage of this card are doubled. Fanfare, 3 play points. Put a dragon on the field. 7-mana 5/5. No, 7-mana 2/5 and a 5/5. Not bad. Not seven. If there was a draft format, that would probably be pretty good. And Wild Fang Dragon Newt. 3 mana, 4/3. If you discard a card, subtract 2 of this cost, so it's a 1 mana 4/3. I don't think this card's good because you're getting so many of the Hellflame Dragon rushes. So yeah, I don't think this card's very good. That was the Dragon set. It's really bad outside of like the really insane discard package. The really insane discard package. So your Dracomance, and your Dragon Song Flute, and your Kaiba. Those are the 3 really good cards. Everything else is bad, but they're really, really good. And Dragon's just going to be good. It's the best deck in set 1. It's going to be a very strong, relevant deck next set. And yeah, not much else to say. It's going to be more consistent. You're going to be seeing more Fortes. I know people are considering running 3 Evo Fortes, which is super greedy, but, you know, you're going to win some games. It's going to win some games. All right. 3 classes down. Well, 4 because neutral, but here we go. Next one, Haven. Let's do it. Haven. I think this is going to be pretty controversial. Arya. I don't want to be digital brained because this is one of the best digital cards in the history of the game. At least time adjusted, you know, era adjusted, you know. Fanfare. It's different in this game though. So it's a 3-drop amulet and it plays a 2/2 storm immediately. It's the bird. Then you can activate to pay 2 for a tiger. So it's a 3-mana 2/2 storm, and then later you get a 2-mana 4/4 tiger thrush. Or it's a 5-mana 2/2 and a 4/4. That's really flexible and really good. And we'll see it has some synergy with another card later. And it's a 3-drop. Keep that in mind. Elena's Prayer. Elena. Definitely one of the boogeymen of digital, for sure. First of all, I think her face is so hilarious. Like, this is the face of the murderer. You know, like she is the 18th person on that. Anyway, it's different in this game though. It's once per turn. When health is added to your leader, all your followers get +1/+1. So it does not happen every time you activate it. But of course, if you have 2, it activates twice. I think this card's actually really, really strong with some other support cards that we'll see in a second. Oh, banger alert, if the music is loud enough. Emerald Maiden. So those 2 we'll come back to later. Emerald Maiden. 3-mana 3/4 ward. Fanfare, this gets +0/+X. X is the number of other followers with ward. So this is actually really interesting if you want to do some sort of super stally, like Elena ward build, because you have Snake Priestess. I think Snake Priestess is a super underrated card. 1-mana 1/3 ward is really strong. Do you have a 2-drop ward? We'll keep an eye on a 2-drop ward. Let's think about a 2-drop ward. But potentially really good. This is fully statted. 3/4s fully stats. I actually really like this card. I actually really like this card. I don't think it'll be played. I don't think it's good enough, but I think it's cool. Infatuated Seraph. Statuated Seraph back in the day. 6 mana amulet, and it like, what do they call, what are the Russian, the dolls? There was 4 different amulets, or it was after 4 turns you won the game, basically. But you could like reduce the cost of it or whatever, so you could do it in like 3 or 2 turns. Anyway, that's not how it works. So 6 mana amulet. It does nothing on play. Doesn't do anything on play. This card cannot be destroyed by abilities. At the start of your end phase, put a prayer counter on this. Then, if this card has 4 or more prayer counters, put it into your graveyard. Add 10 to your leader's health. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your EX area. When you play them, their costs become 0. I don't think this card is good. I think this is a flashy card. I think this is a funny card. I don't think it's good at all. I don't know what meta. Next meta is not going to be a meta where you can do nothing on 6. Another thing is, it's at the end of turn 10. Because it's like turn 6, and end phase turn 6 you get 1. Wait, is it? Hold on. Maybe I'm dumb. End phase turn 6 you get 1. End phase turn 7 you get 2. Oh, no. So starting 10 you get... So starting on 10 you get the effect. My bad. I think Haven's gonna be one of those decks where people are going to think you're winning because of a certain card, and you're actually winning because your opponent did nothing the whole game, or is not playing a well-built deck, or you won in some other way, but you're not able to recognize that, you know? Like, when we get to Aegis, I don't think Aegis plus Guardian Sun is the reason you're winning games. I think it's because you're playing a really good control deck. Like, you didn't win the game when you slammed down Aegis Guardian Sun. You won because you didn't let your opponent get Leonidas Amulet out or something, right? You know? And I think that's sort of a key to evaluating some of these cards is that kind of stuff, you know? I don't think this card's good. And another thing is you have to play this on 6. Because it's 4 turns. You're not, like, turn 10 is already really late enough, you know? Anyway, I don't like this card. I don't like this card at all. I don't think it's playable. Now, a card that's actually playable, unironically, yo, people are going to flame me in the comments. I think this card's actually really good. 2 mana, 2/2, add 2 to your health. And then you can activate for 2 mana, add 1 to your health. This is Elena. Elena eats this up. This is a 2 mana 3/3 after Elena, and you can keep popping this over and over to heal yourself for a bunch, or you know, if you need to. On turn 10, because you know we're playing a turn 10 meta. That's a joke. That's a joke. You get what, 6 health? 10 mana, heal 6. I'm joking. I'm not joking. I think this card's good in Elena. And then Aegis. We kind of talked about this already. Again, I think Aegis is like a boogeyman. I don't think this is real, guys. You know, I don't know. I don't think this is real. I don't think this is real. 8 mana, 8/8. Evolve for 2. Evolve this card. Or you can discard 3 cards from your hand to evolve this card. Aura. And then this card cannot be destroyed by abilities. So, so you can't target it for effects, and you can't Bane into it. But at this stage, pre-evolution, you can swing into it with stats. On Evolve, though, you can't do that. On Evolve, for this turn, so this turn and the next turn, it does not take any damage. So the combo is turn 9, you play this, you discard 3 from your hand, you Guardian Sun this, it has Ward, and your opponent can't do anything. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think this... it's not... Turn 9... It's turn 9. You won the game already, you know? Especially against, like, Aggro Nightmare. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get rocked by this and be like, oh, this card's actually... Because I think it's good. I think you play this because it's a really good win condition. I just don't think it's a problem, and I don't think it's the reason why you're gonna win games, I think is my thought process on it. Yeah, I don't know. Not much else to say. I don't think the heavy control Haven is gonna be good, but that's, you know, just my opinion. Now we get to the true queen of set 2. Put some respect on Kaguya and the art, because this is classic art. 5 mana, 4/4. Whenever an amulet enters your field, choose an enemy follower, deal X damage to it. X is the cost of the amulet that entered the field. So, immediate, before we read the rest of it, immediate is like, you can develop this and then play Insatuate Seraph next turn. I think that's could happen, but like, this dies to Amelia. Right? This dies to a lot of stuff. I don't think that's real, in my opinion. I think 4 health is way too weak. Like, no one's gonna allow you to do that, you know. But it's something to think about. I don't want to shit on Insatuate Seraph anymore, but I just don't think Insatuate Seraph is good. Anyway, fanfare. Choose an amulet in your hand with cost 3 or less, put it into the field. So, of course, got to go back to our Elenas and Beast Call Arias. These are both 3, so... Sorry. So Kaguya can get a Beast Call Arya and get a bird immediately, or get your Elena, develop your Elena. I think Elena is going to be the play here because Kaguya's Evolve effect for 2, it evolves for 2. Whenever same thing. Whenever an amulet comes into play, you deal damage equals to its cost. And then on Evolve, it plays an Ephemeral Moon. Really, they don't have this here for realsies? Okay. Which I love that they were able to incorporate so many of the arts of Kaguya. I really love that. An Ephemeral Moon. I'm not good at saying words. As long as this card is on your field, all your Kaguyas do not take damage during your turns. At the start of your main phase, banish this. So basically this means you can trade into something for free and it doesn't take damage back because it just gets banished at the start of your next turn. There's a lot to talk about this card. I think you can play a really good mid-range Haven build with this card and Elena in mind. Also, playing the soul conversion from Haven, I forgot the name of it, but banishing Ephemeral Moon after you attack and stuff because it's just a dead card is really nice. It heals you for 3. Also, final thing, on her Evolve, she heals for 3 as well. So with Elena, you go play her, play Elena out with her, kill something, Evo, kill another thing, or just deal 6 onto someone. Then you heal for 3, and then Kaguya becomes a 6/6. I think that's extremely strong. And that's only 2 cards, right? That's not like an insane combo, in my opinion. That's just 2 cards. And you can fill your deck with other amulets too, so it doesn't feel as bad to miss that play or whatever. I think Kaguya is really, really strong, and I'm excited to try her. Look out for Kaguya with like Elena and stuff, for sure. What else? Radiance Angel. This card's good. Radiance Angel, 4 mana, 3/4. Evolve this card. It's Ward, Fanfare, draw card. Love that. So it's 4 mana, 3/4, Ward, draw card. Love to see that. Then, on Evolve, where's its Evolve, bruh? On Evolve, you heal for 2. This card's really good. This card's really strong. It's like side grade, Guardian Nun, right? Really good card. Really good card. Love this card. I really like the idea of a ward Haven deck now that I'm looking at this, but we'll see. Maybe that's not good enough. All right. Sapphire Priestess. At the end of your start of your end phase, if your followers attacked 3 or more times this turn, draw 3 cards. No. Sky Sprite. Choose another follower that entered your field this turn and gets +2/+2. That's kind of interesting, but I don't think that's good enough. Like, you have to be playing a bunch of 1-drops? I don't think so. Sledgehammer Exorcist. Fanfare, 2 play points, choose enemy follower, deal 4 damage to it. So it's 5 mana, 4/3, deal 4 damage to something. Worse Amelia, but they're not in the same class, so that's not fair. Soul Collector. 6 mana, 4/4, choose enemy follower, or enemy follower with cost 4, let's banish it. And then it evolves for 1. Choose a Haven follower in your graveyard, add to your hand. This card's not good. Tribunal. Fanfare, choose enemy follower, destroy it. Activate this card and put it in your graveyard, draw a card. So this is worse execute with the amulet like upside stuff. No, I don't think so. If this could touch amulets, this would be good. And that's it for Haven. Haven got a really good set, though. A lot of those cards were like nothing burgers. Haven got a good set, I think, though. I want to look for 2-drops, though, here. 2-drops with Ward. I feel like I'm missing something. Because, like, if there's, like, a 2-drop with Ward... Is there not a 2-drop with Ward? There might not be. This card's so good. Manu's so good. Temple Defender... Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. Sorry, I'm just looking because I want to... Oh, there is. There is. Okay. Ardent Nun. Ward Haven? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Snake Priest is so good, though. Alright, let's think about that. We'll think about that. Alright, so there's 2 classes left. We'll talk about, Rune next. I think some of these I'll go through fast. Anne, sadly, is really bad. Anne and Gray are just not good. 4 mana, 4/5, when you play this card, if a Gray is in your field, subtract 2 from its cost. Evolve 1, Evo this card. Evo searches for a Greya, because that's the only card, that's the only other Academy card right now, I believe. And there's no other Academy. I mean, later there'll be Academy cards, but this card's not good. I don't know why this didn't say Mysteria, but anyway, whatever. And then Greya is a 4 mana 5/4. When you play this card, if Anne's in your field, subtract 2. Act this card, deal 3 damage. If Anne's in your field, deal 6. If there's some sort of mid-range Rune, but like that's dirt, and you can't fit this combo into dirt. This would be so good in draft, though, you know. And also, I mean, obviously, if you know anything about side games, these are 2 very iconic characters, so love to see that. Craig, they call me Craig. 2 mana 2/1. I didn't realize this is a 2/1. Fanfare, draw a card, discard a card. So like bad Penguin, and then evolve, draw a card, discard a card. So this is bad Penguin. This is bad Penguin. But Penguin is a really amazing ability anyway, so maybe you would play it. Here we go. I'm not even gonna mention my meme deck. You know, but Daria, 6 mana 5/5. As long as this card is in your field, when counting for spell chain, count the total number of spells and witch followers in your graveyard. Fanfare, discard all cards from your hand. Put the top card of your deck in your EX area. Repeat until the EX area is full. So, basically, 6 mana, trash your hand. Draw 5 cards in your EX area. And then, as long as it's on the field, D-shift counts followers. And other stuff, but, you know. And then Evo, the Evolve effect is choose a follower and a spell in your EX area, and they both subtract 5 from the cost. It's just... I don't know, man. It's not good in Spell Boost. if Mithril Golem was 5, and this you could get out a 0-cost Mithril Golem, there's also just not enough spells that are very good, I feel like. But if you play this in Dirt, you can ditch your whole hand, and you get a Pascal and a Golem Protection. That's pretty good. I'm joking. I'm completely joking. Then you can play D-Shift. Yeah, I don't know, Daria. Yeah. Grand Gargoyle. 3 mana, 3/4 ward. Last words, add 2 to a stack in your field. No. Magical Strategy, I actually really like this card. It's a 1 mana 2/1 because it summons a 2/1 that does nothing. But I like 1-drops. I love 1-drops, and it's a spell. I think this card's actually really nice. I actually really like this card. Multi-part experiment. This card is not playable, but choose up to 2 of the following. Spell chain 10. Choose up to 3. 1. Choose any follow. Deal 3 damage. 2. Put a guard form golem into the field. 3. Draw a card. No. Red Hot Ritual. 2 mana. Deal 3, and it's a stack. That's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. That's okay. Remy. This card is really good. 3 mana 3/3. Evolve for 1. And then on evolve, you eat a dirt, and you summon a strike form golem. Or, I'm sorry. So you summon a strike form golem anyway. And then you can eat a dirt, and it gets +2 attack, so it becomes a 5/2 rush. This card is really good for dirt. Rhyme Wind is probably the best rune card that they get. This card sees play for eons, forever. This card is so good. Quick, choose an enemy unevolved follower, return to the hand. Spell chain 10, put it on the top of the deck instead. So, bounce something. If your spell chain 10, block the next draw. I think this card is so good. And it's 2-drop, it's quick. This card's so good. Shadow Witch. 5 mana 5/5, eat a dirt. Choose enemy follower, banish it. Leonidas Tech. Gotta play around it a little bit, though. This has got to be alive. Pascal, here we go. Pascal. Also one of my favorite artists, LM7. Fanfare, 4 mana 3/5, Fanfare, put a magic sentiment into the field. Quick activate, act this card, and Earthright, choose an enemy follower, it gets -2/-2. Quick activate, act this card, and Earthright, choose one of your own followers, it gets +2/+2. 4 mana, 3/5, get a thing. Pass turn. They do whatever. If you have to -2/-2 something, you -2/-2. They say end turn. On end phase, activate, eat your dirt. This becomes a 5/7. This is a 4 mana 5/7. 4 mana 5/7. Obviously, extremely strong card. Extremely strong. And then Witch Bolt. Witch Bolt's the best Merlin target nowadays. 3 mana, deal 5. If there's an evolved follower in your field, draw a card. So, Merlin, this is on evolve, draw a card, and deal 5 damage to something. This card is so good. This card is so good. Is that better than Rhyme Wind? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Dirt next set, but I want to see it. And then last... So, let me take a sip. I've never heard this music before. This is more like a podcast where I have really... there's some downtime, but anyway. Next is Elf. I'm just going to breeze. I mean, just... Bald, bad. Are you going to add a fairy? You can search for... Is Arya a fairy or is she an elf? I think she's an elf. No, she's Queen of the Fairies. Hold on. Damn. Lily's good. 2 mana, 1/3. Look at the... peep the top 2. Add a Crystalia or Fairy follower. So later on in Forest, we're going to be able to build decks that have a lot of those. But for now, there's not many. And add to your hand, put the rest of the. And then Evo, choose enemy follower. Its player puts it on the bottom of the deck. So more Leo hate. Yeah. It evolves for 2, though. And it's a 1-3. Right now, it's not that good. Later on, it becomes good. Crystalia Tia. I think this card is, like, underrated. 2 mana, 1-1. Fanfare. Put a Crystalia Eve into the field. And then Eve is a 4-4. That does nothing. And then when Tia evolves, she gives an Eve +1/+1 in Rush. So she becomes a 5/5 Rush. I think this is good stats. You can fill the board with stats, you know. After an it's like what you can do. Like after EPM, you go Wisp, 1 drop. No, Wisp. I forgot. Does it count the combo of like? Does it count itself as combo 1? Because you could just go EPM next turn Wisp, Evo Crystalia Tia. That's 3 mana for a 2/2 and a 5/5 with Rush. And then you have 3 mana to do something else. Okay, you know, that's okay. Dwarf Perfumer. Whenever another whenever your follower evolves, choose an enemy follower, deal 2 damage to it. Not good. Elf Bard. Whenever one of your all the evolve on evolve cards are not good. Liza is a good card though. I think this card is really underrated. This makes boards really hard to crack. So it's a fully statted 2-drop. As long as it's on the field, subtract 1 from damage dealt to your followers by enemies, spells, and abilities. So, like that board we just talked about with Tia, or Lily and Tia and stuff, or sorry, Tia and what's her name, Eve? If you play this out, or if you have this out, Conflag doesn't kill the 5/1, or I mean doesn't kill the 5/5. It lives at 5/1. I like this card a lot. I think this is a really good card. Elf Healer 3 mana 1/5 heal 3. Cynthia's pretty good. 5 mana 5/5 Rush. Strike. Banish a card in your EX area. Choose enemy leader or enemy follower. Do 2 damage to it, and then you summon 2 fairies. This is a really good board filler or board builder, I guess you could say. And you just banish a fairy in your EX area. Problem is, it's on 5 mana. You pass the turn, and they're going to be doing some crazy shit. Elven Archery. 1 mana. Choose up to 2 enemy followers. Deal 1 to each. Combo. Deal 2 to each. This is not quick. This is not playable. Force Gigas. 6 mana. 1/7. Fanfare. Yeah, this card's not good. So if your EX area is full, it evos to a 8/7, and you deal 8 damage, and it's warded. You're not gonna put this in the. You're not gonna put Gigas in the EX area, or I mean in the evolve deck. Selwyn, 4 mana 3/3 combo 4. Choose an enemy follower, deal 5 damage to it. Combo 4 is so expensive. Then you can evolve for 1. And then you choose a card in an enemy field with 3 costs or less destroyed. This card sucks. This is not good. Rose Deer, this card's amazing. This card's actually really good. 4 mana 4/3, put a Thornburst in your hand and it has Rush. All you need to know. Thornburst is... Really? Thornburst is the card that Rose Queen gives you. It's, let me see. Yeah. It's, choose an enemy leader or follower, deal 3 damage, and draw a card. This I love this card. 4 mana 4/3 Rush and put that in your EX area is really strong. Last card, the meme card. 7 mana 4/4 Storm, so dies to Blazing Breath. Last words, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may put an elf follower from among them into the field. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck. Peep 4. I mean, you're just playing the lottery. This card's not good. Because if you miss, it's so bad. If you hit Rose Queen, it's still not even that good. You know, I think this card sucks. Forest is pretty bad, man. Forest is pretty bad. All right, well, that was the whole set. Towards the end, obviously, you know, I went kind of fast because I'm glad I started with the ones that are impactful, sword and everything else. My opinion, if you want to hear the decks I think are going to be good, sword I think will be the best. Abyss aggro I think will keep sword in check and the greedy slow decks in check. Haven I think will be niche. I don't think at a really high level it'll be good or Control Haven will be good enough. I think you could see a build with Kaguya and stuff be pretty good because healing is really strong. And then Dragon is so it probably goes Sword, Aggro Nightmare, Dragon, Haven. That's what I think. And yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was long. If you guys made it all the way, say, I don't know, say something. Say, I don't know. Zach Greinke's a Hall of Famer. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoy set 2. I know I'm going to, I hope. I'm so done with set 1. And, if you guys, have set 2 regionals or whatever, hope this was maybe helpful or insightful to some cards you should be on the lookout for. And, yeah, that's going to be it. Alright, have a good day. Bye-bye.